Have you ever felt like your reality was dissolving, and you didn't know why? As if something invisible was shifting beneath the surface of your life, quietly, insistently, but when you tried to explain it, there were no words, just a deep, aching sense that something was changing? You're not imagining it. You didn't find this message by mistake. Something ancient within you, something the mind can't grasp, but the soul remembers, brought you here. And by the time we reach the end, you'll understand why. Maybe you've been feeling lost, disconnected, like the pieces of your life no longer fit. But what if that unraveling isn't the end? What if it's the sacred beginning of your awakening? Through the lens of Carl Jung's insights and the hidden architecture of inner transformation, we're going to explore the subtle signs that your soul is trying to awaken you. And if you see yourself in these words, take a breath, because the most authentic chapter of your life may already be unfolding, whether you realize it or not. Before we explore deeper, take a moment to subscribe to Deep Psyche, because here we don't just explore the surface of psychology, we uncover the soul beneath it. Let's begin. The first sign, a quiet rebellion within your mind. You begin to question what you once accepted, your identity, your goals, your beliefs. They all begin to feel strangely foreign, as if borrowed from someone else's story. This isn't confusion, it's clarity being born. The mask of conditioning begins to loosen, and what emerges is something far more real, a sacred curiosity. Who am I beneath the layers I was taught to wear? What do I truly desire beyond the noise of expectation? As Jung once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. The soul doesn't scream, it whispers, and in those whispers you'll find your truth. The second sign, you begin to detach, not out of bitterness but out of resonance. The people, places, and patterns that once felt like home begin to feel distant, like echoes from a past life. You're not running away, you're simply outgrowing what no longer aligns. And yes, it may feel like grief, because even when we outgrow the old, we mourn it. But beneath that grief is something else. Freedom. You're not losing your life, you're reclaiming it. The third sign is subtle but undeniable. Your sense of meaning begins to shift. What once mattered, status, approval, control, no longer fuels you. There's an emptiness in the pursuit of what others told you should fulfill you. And yet that emptiness is not a void. It's a space being cleared for something more sacred. You no longer seek what looks good. You seek what feels true. You start choosing experiences that nourish your soul over achievements that merely inflate your image. This shift can be disorienting, but it's the soul speaking through your discontent. And then the fourth sign emerges. Intuition. You begin to hear something soft, silent, but wise, a knowing that doesn't come from logic, but from presence. You don't always understand why you're drawn to certain people or why a path suddenly feels wrong, but you feel it. And that feeling is not random. It's your inner compass being reawakened. Jung believed that intuition was the bridge between the conscious and unconscious mind. It is the voice of the self, your deeper essence guiding you home. And with that guidance comes the fifth sign, an unshakable hunger for growth. You're no longer satisfied with surface-level conversations or shallow pursuits. You want to evolve. You want to become. Books call to you. Solitude heals you. Meaningful dialogue moves you. This isn't about gathering knowledge for its own sake. It's about transforming from the inside out. You're not trying to escape yourself. You're trying to remember who you've always been. And that remembering, it comes with a price. The sixth sign is the painful yet liberating inability to tolerate what drains you. Toxic relationships, fake connections, environments that suffocate your spirit, they become unbearable. You're no longer willing to dim your light just to belong. You crave peace, not performance. This is not abandonment, it is alignment. You begin to realize that protecting your energy is not selfish, it's sacred, because without that protection, your soul cannot thrive. And then comes the final sign, one that changes everything. You feel disconnected, not from yourself, but from the identity you used to wear. You no longer feel at home in the life you've built, not because it was wrong, but because you have outgrown it. And in this strange space between the old and the new, you feel lost. But this loss is sacred. You're not drifting, you're dissolving so the real you can emerge. Carl Jung called this process individuation, the integration of all parts of the self, the death of the persona, and the birth of your wholeness. This is not a breakdown, it is a breakthrough, not an end, but an initiation. You are not falling apart, you are falling into alignment. And though you may not see the full picture yet, your soul does, and it's already leading you. So stay open. Stay soft and trust the silence between your thoughts, because in that silence, your truest self is being born. If this message stirred something deep within you, share your thoughts in the comments. You never know who needs to hear your truth. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Deep Psyche, where we explore the soul's journey through depth psychology, spiritual insight, and poetic transformation. This isn't just a channel, it's a mirror, and you are exactly where you're meant to be.